Ahead on Up with KREM, the war in Iran has Americans paying more at the pump, and soon we could be paying more for groceries too. The timeline experts are predicting.
And temperatures are going to be sticking around in the 50s for us this weekend. I've got a look at your full forecast coming up.
Plus, an easy way to give back to people right here in Spokane. The basic things families at the Ronald McDonald House need. Good morning. Welcome to Up with KREM. I'm Nicole Hernandez. We want to start right away with Brandon T. Jones this morning in for weather. Brandon, this weekend looking like it's going to be beautiful, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty solid weekend. I think this is a weekend where you really can start to plan on getting outdoors, getting out in the gardens, getting everything situated, because I know a lot of us have neglected those backyards, maybe the front yards as well throughout the duration of the winter. I think this is a good opportunity for us to start with that maintenance. So expect some increasing clouds, especially compared to Friday. Friday was a sunny day. I think we're going to have a lot more cloud coverage today, but not necessarily a bad thing because it is going to be mostly dry and we're going to have temperatures in the 50s as well. So good opportunity to get out there. It doesn't have to be yard work. You could just go ahead and plan a walk, or you can stay indoors. It's really up to you, but it's going to be at least presenting enough to get out there and maybe just appreciate all of the fresh air.
Thank you, Brandon. Let's start with the weekend What's Up now. First up, the Seattle Reign are back in Spokane. They're taking on the Racing Louisville FC at One Spokane Stadium today at 3:30. WSU is putting on a spring gardening class at 1 o'clock this afternoon. You can learn how to landscape with plants native to Spokane. That's at the South Hill Library. And the Spokane Rock Rollers 65th Annual Gem and Mineral Show is all weekend at the fairgrounds. There's rocks, crystals, minerals, stone cutting and polishing, a dig for kids, a ton of fun stuff to do. Admission is $12, but it's free for kids 12 and under. The 33 Artists Market is today. It's a curated art market featuring artists at various stages of their careers. Admission is free, and it's at the Women's Club of Spokane from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Well, high gas prices are causing issues for the fishing industry. There could be a seafood shortage if fishermen decide it's not worth going out on the water. Multiple fish markets say they're getting notices from fishing companies about added fuel charges, some up to $20.
Our real fear is that these fishermen are just going to stay at the dock. If they don't feel they can demand the price that's going to be profitable like them, they're not going to fish, and then there's going to be a shortage in supply, which is going to spike prices even further.
Business owners say they're afraid this could cause supply chain problems, which we have not had since after the COVID pandemic. Grocery costs could also be going up soon. It's not only because of rising fuel costs, but also higher fertilizer costs. Most fertilizer is made from products from the energy industry. So as oil and natural gas prices rise worldwide, so does the price farmers pay for fertilizers. The American Farm Bureau says if the Trump administration does not take immediate action on rising costs, food prices could go back to 2022 levels. That was when inflation reached 40-year highs.
We can plan and we can make the best decisions that we can, but it's all subject to Mother Nature and the cost of inputs.
Surging gas prices also play a role here. Most farm equipment takes diesel, which is now averaging more than $5 a gallon nationally. The Ronald McDonald House in Spokane helps support families while their kids are getting medical treatment. Right now, they're doing a supply drive to make sure families staying with them have what they need. Ronald McDonald House gives families a place to stay and food because many have to travel from out of Spokane for this treatment.
So when our families come in, they oftentimes have less than 24 hours notice. They don't know that they're coming in, and they are already in grief and trauma. So what we try to do here at the house is remove any barriers that might limit their access to care.
Anything your family uses at home, there are families here staying for on average a month who need the same stuff.
Look at some of the supplies they need. It's everything from toilet paper and toothpaste to cereal, snacks, and coffee. If you want to help, you can drop off supplies at Ronald McDonald House tomorrow. They have a drive-through drop-off event from noon to 2 p.m. If you're looking for some unique art or maybe a gift, you'll want to check out the 33 Artists Market today. We have more details about that coming up in an interview. And later, we're going to introduce you to Ember. This adorable corgi from Deer Park is in the running for an award.
Alrighty, folks, we've got you covered with a great event this weekend, especially if you're someone who appreciates the art, the local art here in our community.
Absolutely.
I've got Irene Kelly here with us with the 33 Artists Market.
Yes.
First and foremost, I just want to say thank you for joining us here. And how are you doing?
Oh, doing great, and
Yeah.
super, super excited about Saturday,
Yeah.
when we'll be hosting our 22nd market, and
Yeah.
it will be at a home familiar to us, the historic Women's Club. And so we're super excited. We're showcasing 36 amazing artists
Yeah.
from emerging to very well established, and just a huge array of talent. I have some things here to show from
Yeah.
them, but yeah, we're very excited about what's happening. We feel that we really like to showcase the artists, but at the same time bring the community together with them, because those conversations and connections are what make really Spokane so incredibly special.
Absolutely. You talk about that community. I feel like Spokane's art community has just been booming over. I've been here for about 7 years or so. I love seeing everything that takes place. It feels like there's just a lot of talented people who live right here in the Inland Northwest.
Absolutely, absolutely. We were in Seattle and would come for these markets, and we just always felt like it was a very special place to be. Not only from the beautiful art and the artist's work, but again from the community and the connection and the folks who come and the conversations. It's just really great.
Well, you've got some amazing pieces right here in front of us as well. Are these going to be on display at the market?
Absolutely. So yes, we've got Genevieve with a little acorn print, and she dropped this off the other night, and she brought her little 8-month-old son with her.
Yeah.
So again, getting those stories and connections. But it is a nursery goose. And it is, she started really to do work for her child's room. So lovely artist there, Jackie Zerflu. She is an abstract artist, and she does original florals and just loves a lot of color. So we really love her work. We've got
even some jewelry,
Paris,
huh?
absolutely.
Yeah,
and
look at that.
This is a botanical artist, and she actually grows her own florals and does bioactive terrariums.
What?
And so, yes, a ginkgo and a little mini daffodil.
Wow, that is cool.
So that's super cool.
Yeah.
We have Connor Kelly wood turning, and so he is a wood turner and also a hand carver. He has this reverence and respect for ancient pottery. So oddly enough, pottery, but he then revives it into wood.
Yeah.
So it is all his pieces are wood.
So this is wood right
That
here.
is all wood.
Wow,
so
it doesn't
he's
look
got
like it, so that's impressive.
Yeah, he's got a
That's
pretty cool technique for it.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. So here we've got, this is Skolsky's, and she does these wonderful watercolors, and this is called Rainy Day, and she likes you to sort of, follow along in the story. So that will be here. She also does wall coverings.
Yep.
This is Sophie Flowerseed.
Wow,
And
the colors
so,
on that one.
vibrant. She likes to take, her work out of nature, which, quite a number of the artists do. Yeah.
This is something else. I love being able to just take all of this in as well. And then really quick, how can we find you? I know you're at the Women's Club, so what were the times for this weekend?
So it is from 11 to 5
Okay.
at the Women's Club, and you can see us online, social media, 33 Artists Market.
This is amazing. And you were actually, you were just going to it as a visitor, right, beforehand, and now you get the opportunity to kind of step in more of a leadership role, huh?
That's correct, yes. So my husband and I purchased it just this year. So we have some new venues coming up too, Manitou Park and Uprise Brewing, and then back at the Women's Club. So yes, we've got a lot of stuff going on.
All right, well, you got to make sure you check them out this weekend. Again, the 33 Artist Market, doing some great work here in the community.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you, and make sure you check it out for yourself. We'll be right back.
Thanks so much for having us.
The past 11 years have been the warmest ever recorded here on Earth. As Tina Kraus reports, scientists warn the heat is fueling more extreme weather and shows no signs of slowing.
The planet is on a historic heat streak, with the UN Weather Agency warning the world just witnessed the hottest decade ever.
Between 2015 and 2025, we experienced the hottest 11 years on record.
Climate scientists say it's not just about numbers. Record-breaking heat keeps melting glaciers, warming oceans, and causing more extreme weather.
When history repeats itself 11 times, it is no longer a coincidence. It's a call to act.
Experts say rising greenhouse gases are causing the planet to take on heat faster than it can release it, and the trend isn't reversing.
This is global warming.
This month's historic heat wave in the U.S. has already smashed monthly records in more than 160 cities, from the west to the southeast.
That plays out in a lot of how we live our lives. What we're doing outside, at what point, what that means for workers. Do we have cooling centers even activated and open in time in the right ways?
Climate officials warn our reliance on fossil fuels is harming the climate and threatening lives.
The state of the global climate is in a state of emergency.
They're calling for a quick switch to renewable energy to protect the planet and its people. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and take a look at your weather headlines for this Saturday. Not as much sun as what we saw on Friday as we were making our way into the weekend, but we'll see some increasing cloud coverage, so just prepare for that. I think it'll still be mostly dry, possibly a chance of isolated showers here or there, but mild temperatures back in the 50s, and it looks like that trend is going to be sticking around for at least a few days. As we move forward, take a look right here at your weekend forecast. Both Saturday and Sunday, they're going to be almost identical in what we'll experience. Pretty much, very much, I guess, a spring-like day. Again, expecting some cloudier conditions today and tomorrow. Mild temperatures with some possible isolated rain chances. We'll keep a lookout for that. But as we take a look at those rain chances, Friday, we weren't seeing really anything. We got that up here just to kind of give a little compare and contrast. Sunday, though, they pop back up quite a bit. I still don't think it'll be that wet or we'll get that much rain on Sunday by any means, but those rain chances, or at least those isolated rain chances, are definitely going to pick up before they drop back off. And then I think Wednesday we'll see another chance of maybe some rain returning to the forecast. Taking a look at our future tracker, though, you see all of the cloud coverage making its way in, and then a possible isolated shower or two. And then we'll pause it 7:30 tonight. You can see those clouds just kind of lingering around. So cloudy this weekend, still some good pockets of sunshine as well, but temperatures are going to be in the 50s. Taking a look at our day planner, though, not as cold as it was on Friday morning. Just because of those clouds, they trap a little bit of the warmth inside. And then also by this afternoon, still expecting mostly cloudy conditions. Temperatures nearly at 60 degrees before they start to drop a little bit into our evening hours. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast now, though, Saturday and Sunday, here is a glimpse at what you can expect. Again, pretty similar before we head into the new week and basically get a little bit more of those chances of rain by Wednesday.
An Inland Northwest pup is up for Dog of the Year. You'll definitely want to meet her in our interview with Ember and Sam in just a few minutes. Okay, we're very excited because we have Sam and Ember here with us, and you guys are here because you're a part of a pretty cool pet contest. Can you explain what this is?
So we are a pet therapy team with pet partners, therapy dogs, well, pet partners, therapy animals. What we're doing is we're competing in the Pet of the Year competition. This is their biggest fundraiser to help raise funds for the organization. They are a nonprofit, and what the funds go for is they cover liability insurance, continuing education and training for handler teams, because they do also have some crisis response teams. And yeah, just fun things like that.
Amazing. Yes, so that is a big running. And can you tell me a little bit about what you and Ember do as a therapy team?
So we go to the local children's hospital and we go visit patients there, trying to bring a smile to the kids, the families, the staff, while they're having to go through what they're going through. We've also been to a few local schools as well, just to kind of be there and, you know, let the kids get up and close and personal to a dog, a special needs dog. What does it take to take care of her?
Well, speaking of, let's answer that question. Ember here is missing a little bit of her paws. So what happened? How long has this been the case, and how has she gotten through it?
She has been dealing with this pretty much since birth. Basically, what happened is during an emergency C-section, we have a heating disc in with puppies to protect them, but at the same time to keep them warm after coming out of anesthesia. This puppy managed to get between all of those layers and get right down to the heating disc. So it was a complete freak accident that happened. So this is life. She has not known anything different pretty much since birth. Ember, sit. Good girl.
Perfect. Oh my gosh.
So good.
But as she's gotten older, I'm assuming that she's pretty functional. She seems to be moving around perfectly fine and happy, right?
Mm-hmm. And that's what makes her a great therapy dog. Is she lives in the now. This is the card she was dealt, so this is what we do. We tried prosthetics. She didn't love that. So the wheels really help her maneuver and go and run and do all the things that a dog should be able to do to live life happily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
awesome.
That is awesome. And can you just tell me, she saw someone else come in. She's very alert.
Good girl.
Can you tell me just about some of the reactions from kids when you guys are doing, this therapy? How they feel when they see Ember for the first time?
So Ember's a Pembroke Welsh Corgi, which, as most people probably know, they are a big social media hit.
Yep.
So a lot of the kids are really thrilled. This is their first chance to actually meet a Corgi, get up close and personal. A lot of people look at her and they're like, oh, I feel so sorry for her. Oh my goodness. It's like, well, that's the beauty about dogs and animals. They live in the now. So she doesn't look at what happened and go, oh, I'm different than everybody, woe is me. She goes, okay, now what? How do I get from here to there to go get the cookie that might have dropped on the floor or to clean up the mess?
Very important.
Priorities, yes.
No, that's awesome. Well, very, very inspiring, and genuinely, Ember is one of the sweetest dogs ever. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us. Absolutely.
And good luck in the fundraiser.
Thank you.
If you would like to support Ember in the Pet of the Year contest, just text the name Ember to 509-448-2000. We will send a link to the fundraising website. When veterans have given so much, it can be hard to know what to give in return. But a group of local women is not letting that stop them. The story behind Quilts of Valor coming up. Ahead on Up with KREM, how one mom is changing the lives of Spokane teens just 1 year after her own son's death.
It's just not affordable for them to be able to be here.
And in Boomtown today, we'll look at how Idaho lawmakers are trying to make homeownership easier for young buyers, plus a brand new hospital coming to Post Falls. And a local group saying thank you to veterans with thousands of stitches and a warm hug. Good morning. Welcome to Up with KREM. I'm Nicole Hernandez. We want to get right back to Brandon T. Jones in the Weather Center this morning. Brandon, sunshine, a little bit of warmer weather, right?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. How's it going, Nicole? Good. We are good, Sorry, I asked, and I appreciate the response. Sometimes you get into a mindset if you just ask, and thank you.
How
Nicole.
are you doing,
I'm
Brandon?
good. I'm good, Nicole. I hope you're doing good. I hope everyone out there is doing good. And it certainly is a weekend where I think we can just be mostly comfortable, right? We've got temperatures in the mid-50s for Saturday and Sunday as well. Maybe a chance of an isolated shower here or there, but for the most part, things are looking good. I think you can make plans to be outdoors and not really have to worry too much about the weather impacting those plans. So we'll talk about that and everything else you can expect coming up in our full forecast.
Today in Boomtown, a bill in the Idaho State House would make it easier to build twin homes and duplexes. Cities with more than 10,000 people would have to allow duplexes in single-family lots. Senator Tammy Nichols says the goal is to make homeownership a possibility for more Idahoans.
We are seeing some of our young adults leaving the state because it's just not affordable for them to be able to be here.
Supporters say it would help people buy homes in the future, but opponents say adding more density could put pressure on infrastructure. And with more people moving to North Idaho, the need for medical services is growing. In just 2 hours, crews are going to break ground on a brand new hospital. It's going to be here near the intersection of Highway 41 and Prairie Avenue in Post Falls. Brandon T. Jones was actually at the site earlier this week.
Well, yeah, this empty dirt lot right here behind me eventually going to be transformed into a state-of-the-art medical facility. This is at the intersection of State Highway 41 and Prairie Avenue, and this new facility will be referred to as the Prairie Medical Campus. This is being built by Kootenai Health and Multi-Care. They're going to be the ones operating this new facility. And of course, we've seen lots of growth, lots of new people moving into North Idaho over the last few years. So this is an effort to keep up with all of that growth. Once that groundbreaking takes place a little bit later this afternoon, we should start seeing construction that will eventually admit the first patients in late 2027 or early 2028. The first phase will take about 2 years to build. It includes a micro hospital with an emergency department and also imaging services, OBGYN, cardiology, primary care, and a pediatric specialty clinic. Kootenai Health says the population in Kootenai County and eastern Spokane County is predicted to double in size over the next 20 years. Of course, the hope is that the campus can help fill the need for more medical services in both North Idaho and eastern Washington.
Well, where this campus is located is in the center of tremendous growth. And so with 30 acres, we can build a lot of services there over time to meet the demand. I actually believe that the Post Falls campus will eventually serve more patients than our Coeur d'Alene campus because of the fact that it's located in the center of both sides of the border.
So as you heard, the plan really is to keep growing this medical campus as the population keeps growing. Again, that groundbreaking ceremony expected to take place later this afternoon. Of course, we'll continue to follow any new details, any of the new developments as this construction and this new project continues to come to life. For now, though, reporting here in Post Falls, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Right now, a group is making sure local veterans feel loved. These women spend hours stitching together quilts as a small token for the time veterans gave to the country. Here's the story from KREM 2's Laura Papetti.
You have to cut it all up and then piece it back together again.
At an old-fashioned sewing circle,
It's my happy place.
these quilters are taking care of each stitch. Because the purpose of this quilt isn't just to act as a basic blanket, but a chance to wrap a veteran, literally and figuratively, with gratitude, care, and warmth.
Most exciting part is knowing that your efforts will help comfort a veteran or military person because they gave back, and this is just my little bit that I could do for them.
This group of quilters often work individually, but recently gather to work on a Quilts of Valor project.
And the fun part.
These handcrafted quilts take time to make.
Yeah, we're busy all day.
Each stitch important in creating something special for a veteran who has served and who could use an embrace and a reminder that there is a community that cares.
I find it really rewarding that I can contribute in some way to be able to help veterans adjust and to feel comforted and appreciated by all of us.
Quilts of Valor is a national organization that started locally in 2013 and has provided over 1,200 quilts to local veterans since that very first stitch. On this day, 3 veterans were honored with a quilt. World War II veterans
Larry Hogan, U.S. Navy, Aviation Ordnance Man, 2nd Class. Bill Beckstrom, U.S. Navy, Petty Officer, 2nd Class.
and Mark Hopkins, a veteran of the Iraq War.
I feel pretty good, maybe a little mentally drained. It's an honorable award, but at the same time with this award came memories of everything from the past and the folks that didn't get awarded one of these. So I feel pretty good though, for the most part. I'm very appreciative to be recognized.
It can be hard to know how to support our veterans and know what to say, but this group has found their niche through stitches and through patience and time.
It takes a lot of stitches to go all the way around a quilt.
and each is there for a different reason and connection.
My father-in-law was a disabled vet from the Korean War. My brother was in the military as well.
But a common love of fabric and thread, patriotism and pride.
We're all about red, white, and blue.
Binds the group, creating a quilt, a series of stitches that quietly says so much. Laura Papetti, KREM 2 News.
Coming up, Girl Scouts out in the community today are selling their famous cookies. We'll chat about our favorites and talk about a new flavor. That's in about 15 minutes. But first, how a Spokane mom is trying to shift the culture and take down fentanyl. Tim Pham's exclusive interview next.
And I just challenge parents to be more present, because if I could do it again, I told them I was a professional, and if I could do it again, I would spend more time, with my kids. I would do it.
A challenge from a grieving mother who lost her son to fentanyl 1 year ago this month. KREM 2's Tim Pham tells us how a Spokane woman is working to change the conversation around fentanyl to help save lives.
This is a look at Spokane County's opioid dashboard. If we take a look at the year 2024, 318 people died from overdose. A closer look at the numbers, though, showed that 264 of them were fentanyl related. But behind all of those numbers is a story like Gabriel's. At Northtown Mall, among the stores, food court, and coffee shops, there's a store that doesn't sell anything.
I think we need a couple more.
It's the creation of a mother and her son, Gabriel.
This is the wrong one?
Yeah.
This isn't Gabriel, but he wouldn't be here without him. Who is Gabriel?
Gabriel was an incredible young man. He was just gifted beyond his years. He was just brilliant.
Gabriel Fensler was the kind of son who did not just dream big, he followed through.
At 17, he was certified to sell insurance. Yeah, right before he turned 18. He was the youngest Allstate agent.
Sounds like he was an incredible person his entire life. When did things change for him?
When Gabriel was about 14, he used to help my sister watch our nephew. And so one day, in just a moment of pride, he told my sister, "I'm not gonna keep watching him unless you pay me." And my sister couldn't afford to do that.
Sadly, Gabriel's nephew died while under someone else's watch.
And Gabriel just couldn't get past that, even though it wasn't his fault.
That trauma changed everything. Gabriel went from a top student to struggling, eventually turning to drugs.
One day he was at a party and somebody gave him, he thought was something else, and it ended up being fentanyl. He couldn't stop.
Last March, on his birthday, his mom took him out to dinner.
He was like, "Mom, this is expensive." And I'm like, "No, you're worth it. You eat this food." Had I known it would be his last dinner, I would have made sure he ate what he wanted.
Gabriel died just one day after his 24th birthday.
Our system is broken, but we aren't. We can come together and make a difference.
At his celebration of life, the room was full of people from all walks of life. Katara challenged them to show up for those struggling like her son.
And I said, what if half of you were in his life while he was living? What if 15 of you were in his life while he was living? What if 5? What if 5 people were in his life that's in this room? So you think he would still be here?
That question is now driving a mission.
And so I said, well, what if we made a self-service kiosk where people could find out where to start?
Katara opened up Gabriel's challenge at the mall, then realized a need to create a space for youth.
So I went to the mall and I said, hey, what are you doing with this space that's across the hall?
And boom, this is our room.
The community covered the rent, bought giant TVs, and donated gaming systems.
Usually I give the kids snacks, and then I'll turn on these 3 TVs, and then we get these controllers and we pass them around.
At just 17 years old, Trayvon Farmer has lived through more than most.
I was forced to be in a gang when I was like 12, 13 years old, and I didn't really think I had a chance. You know what I'm saying? No opportunity at all to make it out of that.
He came through Northtown Mall looking for a job. Instead, he found Gabriel's challenge.
I don't know how, by the grace of God, you know what I'm saying? I got off the drugs and I started locking in with myself and my life. And then a whole lot of other stuff started happening. It was like, dang, it was a lot.
And as he's telling me a story, he was just so positive and he wanted, you know, to get help.
From the greatness of her heart, bro, she took me in and helped. Cause I don't know what I would have done. I don't know what I would have done without her, you know what I'm saying?
Now he's the one helping others find a way out.
A lot of people feel stuck or lost. Here, the youth, I connect with a lot of them. Like they feel heard, seen, and I'm right there next to them, you know what I'm saying, helping them out.
Normalize getting help. Normalize getting help.
And that's the goal. Not just to treat addiction, but to fill the gaps before it starts.
Gabriel wrote a plan before he passed away in August, and he built this whole dream organization. And the plan was called the Community Care Collaborative. And he talked about co-located services because he had lived experience going across the county trying to get help in all these different places.
Gabriel used to say, shut it down and show up. His mom added, and change the culture. It's a challenge to the community and how this mom wants her son to be remembered.
He tried, he gave, he served, and that's really what Gabriel's challenge is. We can't do everything, but we can all do something.
Preliminary data for 2025 shows there was a drop in opioid deaths by 15%. Still, 222 people died. Most of them were fentanyl related. Reporting in the studio, I'm Tim Pham, KREM 2 News.
It's baseball season. Coming up, we'll tell you about a new food option at T-Mobile Park and break down the new rules with robot umps. The Mariners opened up their season earlier this week, and a lot of fans are getting ready to travel to root on their teams. So this is interesting. Booking.com has data showing that about half of the travelers across the world picked their destination based on sporting events in 2026. 46% of those people in the U.S. are traveling specifically for baseball, and it's 19% of travelers around the world. And if you're heading to a home game this season, you can't forget about the new food. At T-Mobile Park, you can fill a little ferry boat, one of those right there, with either crab nachos or fish and chips. It's adorable. There's also a pierogi and El Reconcito. And then there's my favorite, personally, the chocolate mousse. It's in a souvenir helmet with mousse cookies, and that's it. It's adorable. Also new this season, robot umpires. The MLB is using an automated ball strike challenge system. Here's how it works and how the M's are adjusting to the change.
Oh, that was a strike. Just tickling the edge.
A batter, pitcher, or catcher can challenge a questionable call by the home plate umpire. You'll see them tap their head right after the call, like this.
We got a challenge.
Using a series of cameras around the field, the program shows where the pitch crossed the plate in relation to the strike zone, up on the big screen for players and fans to see.
Well, that pitch was called a ball, and now Cal has challenged it.
Cal Raleigh started getting the hang of it during spring training.
I think a lot of teams are going to use it differently, but obviously, I think a lot of teams are going to rely on catchers to be kind of the last line of defense.
But is that how pitchers see it? We asked Mariners reliever Casey Legumina.
For me, just kind of keep it out of my hands and, let Cal make the decision whether or not if he's going to call it. Obviously, if it's a ball, it's a ball. If it's a strike, it's a strike. And you can't really complain after that. And just got to keep rolling with it.
MLB will allow 2 challenges per game per team.
And I think it's going to add a really exciting part of the game to fans watching in the stadium, but also on TV.
Tacoma Rainiers broadcaster Andy Hellwig has watched the challenge system become a feature at Rainiers games the last couple seasons, while the new system was tested in the minors.
When the player challenges, everybody's going to find out in real time. So in T-Mobile Park, it'll be on that video board here. And so when that player starts to challenge, everybody on the field and in the stands is going to turn around, look at that video board, and they're all going to find out together at the same time.
Strike 3, just clipping the corner. Hunt wins the challenge, and Diaz is...
Alrighty, let's go ahead and take a look at your weather headlines for this Saturday. Not as much sun as what we saw on Friday as we were making our way into the weekend, but we'll see some increasing cloud coverage, so just prepare for that. I think it'll still be mostly dry, possibly a chance of isolated showers here or there, but mild temperatures back in the 50s, and it looks like that trend is going to be sticking around for at least a few days. As we move forward, take a look right here at your weekend forecast. Both Saturday and Sunday, they're going to be almost identical in what we'll experience. Pretty much, very much, I guess, a spring-like day. Again, expecting some cloudier conditions today and tomorrow. Mild temperatures with some possible isolated rain chances. We'll keep a lookout for that. But as we take a look at those rain chances, Friday, weren't seeing really anything. We got that up here just to kind of give a little compare and contrast. Sunday, though, they pop back up quite a bit. I still don't think it'll be that wet or we'll get that much rain on Sunday by any means, but those rain chances, or at least those isolated rain chances, are definitely going to pick up before they drop back off. And then I think Wednesday we'll see another chance of maybe some rain returning to the forecast. Taking a look at our future tracker, though, you see all of the cloud coverage making its way in, and then a possible isolated shower or two. And then we'll pause it 7:30 tonight. You can see those clouds just kind of lingering around. So cloudy this weekend, still some good pockets of sunshine as well, but temperatures are going to be in the 50s. Taking a look at our day planner, though, not as cold as it was on Friday morning. Just because of those clouds, they trap a little bit of the warmth inside. And then also by this afternoon, still expecting mostly cloudy conditions. Temperatures nearly at 60 degrees before they start to drop a little bit into our evening hours. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast now, though, Saturday and Sunday, here is a glimpse at what you can expect. Again, pretty similar before we head into the new week and basically get a little bit more of those chances of rain by Wednesday.
Happy cookie season. If you haven't already bought a box or 5 from the Girl Scouts, we'll tell you what new flavors you can try. That's in just 3 minutes. Brandon, it's a big weekend.
It is.
Girl Scout cookies, they're back.
It is. Classics.
We're
Classics.
so excited.
These are the classics right here. I'm excited.
I got the new
because,
one.
Yeah, it's the big time of the year. These are the ones I grew up with, you know, just like the classic shortbread and then Thin Mints as well. So I'm pumped up. Already got a few boxes at the house as well.
Of course.
Probably need to chill out a little bit, but I'm excited to, you know, try some with you here as well. And you said you got the new one, right?
Yeah, this is the new one right here. We're gonna try them in a second, but
that's right.
I'm getting them opened up. Brandon, you have some fun facts to tell us.
Oh, I do. I do have some
really
fun
fun.
facts. So again, if you're running your Saturday errands later today, there's a good chance you'll see the Girl Scouts. We just checked, and there are 61 locations to buy cookies. That is a good fun fact. 61 locations to buy cookies within 10 miles of our South Hill studio.
Isn't that crazy?
They're absolutely going to find you. You know, it's hard to, you know, walk by them even if you want to. I mean, how can you deny these young entrepreneurs,
literally.
right?
And we already mentioned it. The classics are here, but there's also a new cookie, which is this Explore More. It's a Rocky Road inspired cookie sandwich.
That's right. That's right. And yeah.
Just know that when you buy that box of cookie from that girl, you are helping that girl that is standing right in front of you. The money that you are spending on that $6 box of cookies is staying right there with that girl.
Support local entrepreneurs, Nicole.
Heck yeah,
You're a Girl Scout though.
I was, yes, from like kindergarten through senior year of high school. I did the whole thing. It was a really good time. I sold the cookies when I was a kid. Once you get older, no one wants to buy a cookie from a 15-year-old.
No one's, well, you can see maybe Nicole Hernandez, she's a big deal, you know, so if they could buy it off of you personally.
Ready?
Or connect. Yeah.
This is the Explore More. Have you had one yet?
I have had one. I'll take this one though. This reminds me, I'll let you taste it first, but this reminds me of like childhood, like you would go to church for a vacation Bible school or something like that, and these taste like the cookies that you would get there.
Did not do
Dive into it, Nicole.
It didn't do what Oreos are supposed to do. This is how I eat an Oreo, and it looks like an Oreo, so.
Cheers. What do you think? It's not bad. Not bad at all. Just kind of give you a chocolate vibe, you know?
I wouldn't really compare it to Rocky Road, if I'm being honest.
No.
It's like a chocolate Oreo.
That's what it tastes like. And I think it's worth, you know, tasting it, you know? Because it's always cool to try all the different and new flavors. So
A cookie's a cookie.
A cookie,
I mean, come on.
Point blank period. Point blank period. I couldn't have said it better, Nicole. So yeah. Well, again, if you want to find some cookie booths near you, you can go to the Girl Scouts website or just go down to your grocery store. I'm sure Fred Meyer's, Safeway.
All of them. Any grocery store.
They're all over the place. I'm making a
Brandon's
mess.
throwing cookies.
Crumbs are going all over the place.
Peace out. Join us tomorrow morning and Up with KREM.